Alright guys, in this video I will show you the number one method that I and my billionaires mentors and my millionaires clients use to focus up. It is ridiculously easy, and actually you might have heard about that, but you don't actually practice it. And most of the time it is the case that the easiest and simplest methods or tips and tricks are the most reliable ones, because they can't be copied, they can't be marketed, they are not just shiny objects, and they actually work. So if you want to have something that really works, if you want to have a method that you can do from wherever you want, whenever you want, and whenever you need it, and listen to this quick 5 to 10 minute video, I will explain the method. But first of all, I will explain you why. So who am I to talk with you about that? My name is Just Fusser, and I scaled a company called Magic Coaching Health Lab to 50K a month. I helped I helped multimillionaires get healthy. Now I'm owning Regentis, a company that helps 2 to 5x the income of coaches, clients, agency owners, because I realized by working with multimillionaires that they all have patterns, and I'm in this industry for now for 3, 4, 5 years in the business, and I understand exactly what entrepreneurs are like, what they need, and what they lack of, what they need to do. And on my journey, I'm scaling to 100K this month, and yeah. So basically, listen to me, because I might make more money than you, and I might give you some value, or maybe not. I don't care about bullshit. I don't care about shiny objects. I only give you the things that work, and this is the method that really works. If you know me, I am a huge fan of not having shiny objects in the room, or not doing shiny object stuff. If you don't know what shiny objects are basically things that seem good, but in the end are just a waste of time. So, for example, a shiny object was the NFT scene. That was not the NFT. These little images with the monkeys and that stuff. This was a shiny object. A lot of people wasted a lot of money. Gambling is a shiny object, because the big output seems so ridiculously high, but in the end it's a waste of money, because most of the people lose money on doing that. Another shiny object is, for example, fancy softwares or editing tools, or fancy lookings, or fancy editing. For example, that's why my videos are kind of broad and raw. My mentors are all producing these kind of videos. They make more money than all these people who edit fancy stuff besides Alex Mosey combined. So basically, I listen to them and do what they do, because it works. And this is no shiny object as well. When do you use it? So first of all, I use this kind of often, so let's say 4 to 5 times a week. And if you meditate, it is pretty good for you, and pretty easy, and you can do it while you meditate, or you can do it as a meditation replacement. You should do this basically when you finish the high dopaminergic task. If you watch such videos, and if you're still on, you know what dopaminergic tasks are, social media, junk food, so things that give you short pleasure, but in the end fry your brain. They don't fry your brain, but you know that in the end, after you watch some nasty videos and watch social media or YouTube or played video games, your day is cooked and you can't work. So therefore, after these tasks, do this, or before you have some heavy workload. For example, today I had a 14-hour workday, and yesterday I had a 15-hour workday, and before each day, or actually instantly after waking up, I worked for 4 hours. That's easy, that's what I can do. After that, I get kind of soggy and I need to eat, and then I do this task as well. So whenever I need to refocus, whenever I need to focus, or when I finish something, or whenever I need to actually do the task, so that's when I do it. And the length of this task can be 30 to 60 minutes. So actually you need to spend quite a time on it, but there is some science-based information behind this, and it will actually help your brain to reset. Because with this task, your brain system gets resetted, and it goes into the so-called default mode. The default mode is the mode where your creativity and your skill set and awakeness and alertness of your system plays. So basically your baseline, where you now can lay foundations, like work on it. Basically, after waking up, you are in default mode, because after sleeping, you're fully refreshed, and the task is similar to it. What you now do is nothing. That's the task. You literally do nothing. Now click away from a video. You do nothing. Try to sit down with the alarm clock And don't even look at the clock. So only sit here in your dark room, watch on the black screen, watch on the whiteboard that's completely clean, and have a timer of 30 minutes. Don't know when it's over, and just sit there. And sit there like this. And do nothing. Do nothing for 30 minutes. And I promise you, I bet you know my goodwill on this, and I actually my clients made a lot of money by doing that. Do it. Do it for once. I know you know all the good tasks. I know you know all the shiny objects. I know you know that you need to exercise, that you need to work hard, that you need to do all the stuff, but actually do it. And if you want, if you know, if I can tell you or compromise as much information as possible in this 5-10 minute video, these are 2 things you need to go away with. Never ever listen to shiny objects or fancy stuff that magically helps you to do. That does not work. I make money because I tell people what they make wrong, what they have to do, and that's it. I even make mistakes, and the only thing I can do is to fix the obvious things. If I, obviously, don't care about sales, then my sales will be rubbish. That is the only reason. If I care about sales, my sales will be good. So that was a short, you don't even need to understand. I want to tell you that don't fall for shiny objects. Never, ever, ever, ever. Always use the simple part. Always use the simple answers. For example, online business, online coaching business. What is it? It is producing content, producing ads, producing cold outreach in form of DMs, calls, whatever your niche needs. That is the cold flow. That is it. That's the input. Then you have sales. That's it. And then you have product delivery, and in some ops and finance stuff when your business grows. But in the end, it is only marketing and content and outreach. So actually, client acquisition, sales, and product. That's it. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you know this, and if you nail this, you will be rich. So that is simple. That is so simple. Okay. So people overcomplicate this in the space because it is very easy to market. And when people work with me, they realize that things are that hard. And a lot of things get overcomplicated, and in this space there's so much money because it is so overcomplicated and people don't actually know what they say. And this method, like saying nothing, this video will make 10 views or something like that. I don't know. And even now, no one's watching, maybe. But I tell the truth. That is it. If you want to be, of course, if you want to be successful, you don't need to do this task, but it will make things easier. Of course, you don't need to sacrifice social media. Of course, you don't need to sacrifice your social circle. Of course, you don't need to sacrifice your PlayStation or whatever. But it will make business easier. And everyone tells you that business is the hardest sport you will ever do. And so why don't make business easier? If you are not made for sacrifice and doing simple stuff, boring stuff, then you're not made for it. I would only tell the truth because I realize in my 3 years of now doing this here, that this year, the rawest form is the one that the fewest amount of people will watch. I know this, but is the one that the right people will watch. Appreciate you all. Click the first link in the description. Love you all. Bye.